Welcome to Healing Harvest Farmstead and Willowbrook Greenhouse and Garden. Let's get these guys into their new home, shall we? Today I'm going to show you how to step up your seedlings, or pot up your seedlings, however you want to refer to it. Either way, we're moving them from their original home in their seed starting tray to bigger pots. Now, if you started your seedlings in a 4-pack or a 6-pack with the intention of just getting them to this stage, hardening them off, and then putting them in the garden, you can skip this step. However, I encourage you to continue watching the video just for fun. So I started these seeds the first week of January. It is now the first week of February. So they have been under grow lights for 4 weeks. When they first germinated, I took off the humidity dome. I waited until their first true leaves came on, and then I started giving them some liquid concentrate fertilizer. When they start getting their first true leaves, that's your indication that they've used all the nutrients in that seed that they had to get them going. And now we need to start giving them some more nutrients because the seedling mix doesn't have any of that in it. So I like to use a liquid kelp. It does kind of stink. It's not terrible, it's not horrible strong, but it does kind of stink. So if this is the route you want to go, just be aware of that. You can use any fertilizer you choose. Just follow the instructions on the bag for feeding your seedlings. Every fertilizer is going to be different. When you're shopping for a fertilizer or a growing mix, if you choose to go with a growing mix at this point, you can. Either way, whether you go with a fertilizer or a growing mix that already has a time-release fertilizer in it, you're gonna see 3 numbers on the bag or the bottle or whatever it is the packaging is of what you've chose. Those 3 numbers will always represent the same thing in the same order. It's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen is what gives your plants their big, robust foliage, their leaves. Phosphorus promotes root growth, root health, and the blooming and the fruiting of your plants. Potassium helps water and nutrients move through those plants in a more efficient way. So those are what those 3 numbers mean, always in that same order: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. I do not recommend a 10-10-10 at this stage. That's a little bit too much. They're a little too young. They would grow too fast. My fertilizer is a 3.7% nitrogen, 2.7% phosphorus, and 3.7% potassium. As you can see, they're doing very well. I am using my own kind of mix a little bit here. So I start out, the base of it is a Sun Grow Professional number 4 mix, and it's not much different than the seedling mix we started with. It's peat moss. It is a wetting agent, which in this case is silicone, I believe, not the yucca extract, and then the white stuff, which is perlite. This one, though, also has mycorrhizae in it. That is a microorganism that helps your roots uptake nutrients a little bit more efficiently. That's why I went with that mix. Now, I also have a vermicompost bin or a worm farm right here in the corner of my kitchen. That's where my kitchen scraps go, and the worms make me this nice little finished compost soil amendment. This is a lot easier on your seedlings. Your seedlings won't burn as badly with this kind of a nutrient additive. The worms have already broke down everything and made all the nutrients readily available for these little seedlings. And the seedlings aren't going to take more than they need. They're just going to take what they need and leave the rest. So that will kind of prevent their burning, or too much nitrogen is usually what gets most plants. You can use that directly in the garden if you want to. You can actually use it as like a top dressing if you don't want to mix it in the dirt. In this case, I've mixed 1/3 of the vermicompost with 2/3 of my Grow number 4 mix. I am using 2.5-inch pots. That will be good enough for these slow growing herbs right now to get me from February to June. June is when I do the bulk of my selling, and these will do just fine. They won't get too root bound, which is what you do want to prevent at this point. They are probably starting to get a little root bound in these little tiny cells. You will do this just like you did the seedlings, just like the plug tray, about 3/4 full. Tamp the soil down so that it fills to the bottom of the pot and gets rid of some of those large air pockets. You do want it to go all the way to the bottom of the pot because you're going to be putting water in this tray, and you want that soil to have contact with that water so that it can uptake that water, absorb that water from the bottom. Now when I do this, I usually do several rows of filling them with the soil all at once, and then I'll go through with a dibble stick, or in my case, a dibble screwdriver, which my husband has not noticed missing, and we're not going to tell him. Anyways, you make about a 2-inch hole in that soil. You can do that with your fingers. If you don't have a lot to do, that's just fine. You're just trying to make enough room to plop this plug in it most of the way. We're not gonna put this plug all the way to the bottom of this. It's gonna set in there about that high. You see that? Okay, look at those roots. Those are pretty. So then you just plop that in that hole, and then we fill that with soil. It's really just this simple. There's nothing else to it. You tamp it down, just like you did to start with. Get those little air pockets out, get some good root contact with the soil, and tag it, and you're done. Those will go back under the grow lights until I move them out into the greenhouse. I'll make another video on how to harden them off, because even in the greenhouse, they will still need hardened off before they spend all of their time in the greenhouse, because they're not used to sunlight. They are used to just the grow lights. And I'll do a video on that later. But until then, thank you for growing with me. Bye.